wanted to do a video tonight talking about why I criticise Jonathan Joly so much and thought so much about the sort of thumbnails that he uses for his videos. So this was the video he uploaded yesterday, and this is the thumbnail that he's used for it. Now, obviously this just looks really inappropriate, to be honest, and you know, it's scary to think that this is not the only video on Jonathan's channel that has a thumbnail like this. You know, I've actually emailed the social service team, and I've sent them a screenshot of this video, of this thumbnail, showing them that this is the sort of thumbnails that he's using for his videos all the time. You know, and I want them to see that, you know, the point I'm trying to make. You know, it's so insane, like so scary when you look at Jonathan, like creepy when you look at Jonathan's channel, when you look at the sort of thumbnails that he uses for his videos. It just looks really weird, because there's so many videos on his channel that have these kind of open mouth thumbnails, and it just looks really like disgusting and really wrong. You know, and it's like no decent father would ever be using thumbnails like this, or, you know, thumbnails like that. You know, for example, you know, no, this is not the sort of thumbnail that a decent parent would use for their videos. You know, this is a sort of thumbnail that a creep uses. You know, and you know, I'm not gonna sit here and apologise for saying John is a creep. I'm not a creep for the way that, you know, because I'm looking at the thumbnails in a certain way. You know, I can't understand how people don't find it concerning, or don't find it a bit, you know, you know, creepy, or a bit, you know, disturbing that Jonathan's always using thumbnails like this. Like, it's just not normal for a father to be using thumbnails like this every time he uploads a video. You know, it's just beyond bizarre, and it is so creepy. You know, that he's constant, and especially when you think about why he's using thumbnails like this, you know, what his intentions are when he's using thumbnails like this. You know, what he's trying to do is he's trying to make, it feels like he's trying to make his kids a target for child predators when he's using thumbnails like this. You know, if he was a decent father, he wouldn't think it was okay and acceptable to be using thumbnails like this every time he uploads a video. You know, and I think the reason he does it is because he knows he'll get called out for it. He knows that people will say that he's wrong for, you know, using thumbnails like this. You know, I honestly, it baffles me that people can't see how wrong it is. You know, I did a video on Sunday, showing you guys the sort of thumbnails that Jonathan's using, and I wanted people to see that I wasn't overreacting. You know, that's what I want. That's what I actually wanted people to see, was that I wasn't overreacting to this. Like, I wanted people to see that I wasn't trying to make a big deal out of this, or try to make it into something it's not, if you know what I mean. It's just really bizarre that he keeps using thumbnails like this. Like, it's just not normal. You know, and this is one of the reasons why, you know, I feel like why he needs to be reported. I feel like these thumbnails alone warrant him being reported. You know, warrant the authorities getting involved. You know, I'd love for somebody to sit down with Jonathan and actually question him on why he thinks it's okay to use thumbnails like this, and why, you know, there were so many videos on his channel that have thumbnails like this. Because this is the major problem with it, is that, you know, there's not just, you know, 2 or 3 videos on his channel that have thumbnails like this. There's so many videos, that there are like loads and loads of videos on Jonathan's channel that do have thumbnails like this. Like, I'm not going to go through every video showing the thumbnails. I kind of did that on Sunday. I did show a lot of the videos, and I showed a lot of the thumbnails that he uses, and the way, you know, and just how inappropriate some of them are. you know, and it's disturbing, you know, when you look at a father's channel, I mean, you know, Jonathan's channel, and you're seeing that this is the sort of way that, you know, that Jonathan is kind of putting his children out there on the internet. This is what he thinks is acceptable. You know, I mean, I criticise the Inhams a lot, but it's like, how often do you see the Inhams using thumbnails like this? You know, you never see Chris and Sarah, well, and you know, sometimes they do, but they don't use these thumbnails for every single video they upload. You know, which is one thing at least. But it's just creepy. I mean, obviously Jonathan will upload another video on Saturday, which will probably have another video, another thumbnail like, you know, the one I just showed. You know, it's just gross. Like, it's just so disgusting seeing so many videos on Jonathan's channel with thumbnails like this. You know, I wanted to show people these thumbnails because I wanted people to see that I'm not overreacting. I want people to see that I'm not exaggerating things or making mountains out of molehills, or trying to make, you know, or trying to make things out to be worse than what they are. Because these things are, you know, some of these thumbnails, it doesn't get any worse than what you'll see in some of these thumbnails. They are beyond disgusting and creepy in every single way. It's like Jonathan knows exactly what he's doing, and it's just disgusting. Like, you know, it's so creepy, and I mean, it's not just, you know, I mean, some of these thumbnails, and you've got Alessia in the thumbnails, who is only, you know, she's what, 7 years old, and he's got her in the thumbnails with her mouth wide open like that. It just looks so disgusting the way that he's got his 7-year-old child in that thumbnail, and obviously Edie's 10, and Alessia's 7, and he's got them in a thumbnail like that. It just looks so disgusting in every single possible way. And this is the way that Jonathan is putting his hits out, or is choosing to put his hits out there on the internet. You know, this is the sort of creepy thumbnails that he's using for every single video he uploads. This is why I'm doing videos like this. Because I want people to see how bad he actually is. I want people to see what I'm talking about when I talk about how disgusting and inappropriate some of the thumbnails actually are. There's another video on my channel where I've shown some of the thumbnails, where I've actually gone right back through to, you know, last year, and shown some of the thumbnails that he's used between now and obviously last year, because I wanted people to see just how disgusting some of these thumbnails actually were. It's beyond creepy and sinister. Like, beyond, it's not, I wouldn't say it's sinister, but it's more disturbing that, you know, Jonathan is always using thumbnails like this. Like, it just doesn't sit right with me. Like, you know, the fact that he thinks it's okay to use these sort of thumbnails every time he uploads a video, and the fact that he's got Alessia in thumbnails like this, it just looks, you know, ridiculous. Like, it looks really bad. You know, it makes him look bad. That's what it does. You know, I mean, I wanted to, you know, obviously I don't have a problem with Jonathan, you know, I don't have a problem with really being trans or anything like that, but I certainly do have a problem with him using thumbnails, like this for videos that he's putting out there on his YouTube channel. You know, and you would think that, you know, Anna, of all people, would actually say something to him about the fact that he's using thumbnails like this. But that makes it even worse. The fact that she, as a mother, does not have a single problem with Jonathan using thumbnails like this for his videos. It just looks so bad and looks so wrong. You know, and I know I know I probably sound a little bit critical, and I'm not trying to be, but, you know, as I said, I just wanted people to see how bad some of Jonathan's thumbnails actually are. You know, it's more me proving a point, really. That's what I'm trying to do. Is I'm just trying to prove a point about how how disgusting some of his thumbnails are, and it feels like every video he uploads has an open mouth thumbnail. You know, this is the thing, it's not just, as I said, it's not just 2 or 3 videos. that Jonathan has uploaded that have thumbnails like this. There are so many videos on his channel that actually have thumbnails like this, and it's so creepy, it's so weird. You know, and it really, you know, when I see things like this, it really deeply concerns me, you know. Because I know for a fact that no decent parent would be uploading videos that have thumbnails like this. You know, no decent parent would think it was okay to use thumbnails like that for his videos. You know, no decent parent would think that was normal, or would think that was, you know, an okay and acceptable thumbnail to use. You know, I mean, if he was to actually be using more appropriate thumbnails for his videos, maybe I would actually start giving him a little bit more respect. You know, but I'm not going to start giving him any respect until he stops using thumbnails like this. But he's not going to stop using them because he knows that people think it's okay for him to be using thumbnails like this. I mean, seriously, who in their right mind, you know, who in their right goddamn mind would think it was okay for Jonathan to be using actually okay and acceptable for Jonathan to be using thumbnails like this? Like, come on now. You know, are you being fucking serious? Like, how is it okay and how is it actually okay and acceptable for a father to be using thumbnails like this? Like, are you being serious? Are people really saying that there's nothing wrong with Jonathan using thumbnails like this, for example? Like, come on now. You know, I want people to see what I'm, see what I'm looking at here. I want people to see what I'm seeing, and I want people to see why I have a problem with the thumbnails he's using, and why I do so many videos where I talk about. Someone has to call him out for the fact that he's using thumbnails like this, because it's just disgusting, and there is absolutely no need whatsoever for Jonathan to be using thumbnails like this at all. That's the problem. That's the thing here. There's absolutely no need whatsoever for Jonathan as a father to be using thumbnails like this for his videos. No need whatsoever. But he knows that people... That was my PS4 control pad just gone on the floor. He knows that people would defend him over the fact that he uses thumbnails like this. You know, I'm expecting a few people to comment on my video, or on this video, calling me out and saying, well, you know, you're the one in the wrong because of the way you're looking at the thumbnails. No, I'm not. I'm not the one in the wrong for looking at thumbnails in a certain way. Jonathan is the one in the wrong because he's the one that's choosing to use thumbnails like this. It is actually disgusting. You know, and it's thumbnails like this that sort of, you know, that show me, you know, the sort of person that Jonathan Joly really is. You know, it's thumbnails like this that have given me a really good picture of the sort of person that Jonathan is. You know, he's an absolute creep and an absolute pervert. And these thumbnails that he's using for his videos really do prove that about him. You know, these thumbnails alone really say a lot to me about the sort of person that he is, about the sort of father that he is. You know, if people had any common sense or had any brains in their fucking heads, they would report Jonathan to the authorities and actually send them screenshots of some of these thumbnails that he's using, so that they can see what he's doing. You know, send them as many screenshots of these thumbnails as you can. But you know, the authorities need to see this. The authorities need to see that he's using thumbnails like this every time he uploads a video. You know, it's about time people started seeing him and seeing that creep for who and what he really is. You know, it's just disgusting. You know, I mean, at least his YouTube shorts aren't too problematic. You know, there's not really anything to really write home or to say anything, you know, with regards to, you know, the images here. Like, they're not too bad. But you look at the full, it's like the full videos that he uploads just have really disgusting and inappropriate thumbnails. And the fact that he's got his 7-year-old daughter and his 10-year-old daughter in a thumbnail like this with their mouths wide open. It just looks so disgusting and looks so inappropriate, especially when you think about why he does it and what he's actually doing it for. Because there's a very good reason for why Jonathan is using thumbnails like this for his videos. Because he knows that thumbnails like this will attract a certain audience, and that's exactly what he's trying to do. You know, I'm not going to stop calling Jonathan out for the fact that he uses thumbnails like this. I'll keep calling him out time and time again. Every time he uploads a video with a thumbnail like this, I will call him out for it, and I will say, well, what the hell are you doing? You know, I will always be wondering why the hell he's using thumbnails like this. You know, that's what someone needs to do. They need to sit down with Jonathan and actually ask him why he thinks it's okay and acceptable to use thumbnails like this. And they need to be sitting down with Anna, and they need to be asking her why she doesn't have a problem with the fact that Jonathan is using thumbnails like this. You know, it just goes to show you what sort of person Jonathan is. And the fact that Anna doesn't think there's anything wrong with him using thumbnails like this says a lot about her as well. You know, I honestly don't get, and I'm not trying to cause trouble here, but I honestly don't get how people cannot see anything wrong with the fact that Jono is actually using thumbnails like this. My God, I don't know what else to say. You know, I'm done. You know, I've said it, you know, I think I've said on this. You know, but it's just wrong that he's using thumbnails like this, and, you know, that he thinks it's okay to be using thumbnails like this for his videos. And the fact, it's the sheer fact that there are so many videos on his channel with thumbnails like that where kids have their mouths wide open. It's just so wrong. This is why this is why I have such a huge problem with it, is because there's not just one or two, like 2 or 3 videos that have thumbnails like this. There was only a few videos on his channel that have thumbnails like this. I wouldn't be making such a big song and dance about it. I wouldn't be making such a big, you know, hoo-ha about it and have such a fuss. But it's the sheer fact that there are so many videos on Jonathan's channel, on Jonathan's YouTube channel, that have thumbnails like this. You know, it feels like every single video he uploads has a thumbnail like it, has a thumbnail like this. You know, or, you know, has a thumbnail like this, for example, has a thumbnail like this. That's what it feels like. It feels like every single time he uploads a video to his channel, it has a thumbnail like this. Why? Why does every video have a thumbnail like this? Do people not think there's something a bit weird going on here, or a bit funny going on? Do people not think it's a bit strange that this seems to be a common theme on Jonathan's channel, that the videos have thumbnails like this? Like, come on now. You know, I don't want to be having a go at people, but people just need to wake the fuck up and start seeing Mr. Jono Boy for who he really is. This is disgusting. And it makes me, it's even worse knowing that people are actually defending him for using thumbnails like this. It actually, you know, that makes the gravity of the situation a whole lot worse. Is knowing that people don't think there's anything wrong with him using thumbnails like this. I have no words. You know, I'm shocked at this point. I'm shocked that people can't see anything wrong with him using thumbnails like this. And I think if people actually looked at his thumbnails, I think they would get a very good idea of why I have a problem with him. You know, this is what I wanted to do with this video. Is I wanted to show people why I keep having to go at Jonathan, why I keep, you know, going on about the thumbnails he's using. Because of this. This is why. There is, as I said before, there is absolutely no need, there is zero need for him to be using thumbnails like this. There's absolutely no need whatsoever for him to be using thumbnails like this. It is not acceptable or appropriate for him as a father to be using thumbnails like this. And the fact that he thinks it is okay and acceptable, it's not okay and acceptable for him to use thumbnails like this. And the fact that he thinks it is okay and acceptable to be using thumbnails like this for his videos, you know, says all I need to know about him. It says all I need to know about the sort of person that he is. You know, the guy is a fucking creep and a fucking pervert. And these thumbnails are very, very, you know, these thumbnails are proof of that. The guy is a fucking scumbag. That is what Jonathan Joly is. He is now but a fucking scumbag. Only a scumbag would use thumbnails like this. Only a scumbag and a lowlife would think it was acceptable to use thumbnails like this. No decent father in their right fucking mind would ever think it was actually acceptable and appropriate to be using thumbnails like this for a YouTube video. Simple as that. I hope you've enjoyed this video and I'll see you for another one very soon. Bye bye.